Alright, this is gonna be quick. Time now is 8:07 a.m. in the morning on September 28th. Just woke up, as you can probably tell by my hair and by how tired I am. God damn it. I went to bed at 2:50, 2:45, but I couldn't immediately fall asleep. But it's a good thing I went to bed before 3. I fulfilled my wish. I fulfilled my promise, but I wish I could have gone even earlier next time. Maybe before 2:30. More acne on my face, and I sort of knew this was gonna happen. Especially the forehead one. Fuck. This is gonna hurt. This doesn't even feel like acne. This feels like, I don't know. It's just gonna suck. Because it's not like the moment I stop eating cumin, all my acne is gonna disappear. It's still going to come out for a while, a little more. But hopefully after today passes, no more acne. I also made a mistake by eating the frozen Indian food for lunch yesterday because the curry is full of cumin. I gotta avoid that as much as possible nowadays. Yeah, that's it. So today I'm going to go to Film 32 class to film a scene, and this time I will be the grip. I'll be the key grip. And it's probably gonna be really tough. Today's gonna be tough for everyone because the scene we're filming it just involves so much light work and also so much set dressing. I'm so glad I'm not in the art department this time because it's gotta suck being in the art department this time. It's going to be a lot of work. But yeah, I'm the grip, and Eric will be working as the gaffer with me, so I'll learn a bunch of stuff about lights as well. I'm gonna bring a chocolate bar. I'm gonna stretch because I'm going to use a lot of my strength. And that's it. I'm gonna go wash my hair right now. And Pepper spoke to me last night a little bit. Pepper voluntarily sent me a message at 1 a.m. in the morning saying, "Hey, do you know if they got the props now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess. I think Liana has them." But yeah, that's it. And I sent a message on Discord tagging everyone asking if anyone has flashlights, if they could bring them. And then Pepper said, "Can we just use our phones?" And I said, "Oh, maybe it's not strong enough." So it's a good thing that Pepper is voluntarily starting conversations with me. That's a great change. I'm gonna eat, I don't know, some peanut butter cookies as breakfast, and then I'm just gonna go. Yeah. What? 94? Okay. The bar test off. Why is he? I think they're kind of basic.
我覺得唔俾貼嘅喎。
Huh? All right, time now is 6:35 p.m. on September 28th. Let's talk about today. Let's hope I can finish talking about today as soon as possible. But you know the drill. It's a Wednesday, and it's Film 32 day. And it's not only any other Film 32 days, but it's a day of the shoot, which means that today we're going to shoot a scene. So yeah, it's, of course, stuff happened. I ate a couple peanut butter cookies, which are extremely sweet, and then I went to the bus, took the bus, walked to the campus, boom. That's it. Yeah, and everyone showed up early. Nobody was late this time, unlike last Wednesday when a few people was late for the shoot and the professor got mad. But yeah, let's talk about the shoot itself. So this time I'm key grip, And of course, if you don't know this, what a grip does is he or she grips. He or she, they move things like C stands and light stands and everything. And they do the flags, they do the diffusers. They try to make everything logistically possible. Like it's part of G&E, which means grip and electric. So whatever lighting needs, I will help them. But the thing is, the entire G&E is basically me and Eric. Eric is the gaffer, aka the guy who lights, and then there is Alan, a Mexican guy who is different from Alan, the Mexican guy from Film 40. His name is also Alan, but it's a different person. And he's the electrician. And then Yulia, the Russian girl, she's the DP, but she's mainly sticking with me and Eric because she can't do anything with the camera because that is our professor's. That's under our professor's control. So Yulia mainly stayed with us as part of the G&E. And she even moved the light stands and tried to do the light settings and everything. And she's the freaking DP. Why is she doing all this? But it's good. It's cool. Yeah, and then everyone else are in their position. Christian is the boom operator. Alba is the first AC. Pepper is second AD, but she doesn't have much to do. Last time Pepper was prop master and she didn't do anything. This time she also pretty much didn't do anything. So yeah, from 9 p.m. till like 10:30, they were just building the set, and it was a mess because this is a really difficult set to build. We're trying to recreate the outside world, the exterior, inside a studio. So of course it's difficult. There's a lot of confusion on how the set is going to be built, the walls and everything, but we really tried our best. We really did. And I can feel myself. Today it wasn't as tense actually. So last Wednesday, as the set dresser, it was sort of intense because I was rushing to help people. But this time as the grip, somehow surprisingly it's not as bad because I helped move the flats and the jacks and everything, but I don't know, but I just feel a lot more relaxed this time, which may be a bad thing. There was one point when we had to stick fake leaves, fake vines onto a green flat. And I was like, these vines are real long, and I just tossed them up over the flat so that Eric could tape them, which is weird because Eric's the gaffer, but he's helping out. I was doing pretty well, and then I was distracted, and then later I continued to toss it, except I can't. Birkin, the Turkish guy, the very cocky, braggadocious Chad Turkish guy, he showed up and he took my vine and he was like, here, boom, bam. And of course he's good at throwing things. And then Eric and Christian were there and they were like, damn, you let Birkin show you up like that? Damn. And I just smiled. This is a very common situation. I mean, back in Forms 1, 2, and 3, I would constantly be embarrassed. And even in Forms 4 and 5, I would be, embarrassed by people. People outdo things, outdo me, and I would always be awkward. But I am very chill, and I know a lot more about publicity now that I don't get embarrassed easily. But today I sort of let him go and let myself be embarrassed a little bit. But a little bit later, the vines dropped, so I flung it up again, and I was like, oh, the cowboy vines, the spirit of Los Angeles, and I threw it over the wall, and it was nice. So for the actors, we're doing Erin Brockovich, a scene, and for the actors, the Erin from Erin Brockovich is played by the annoying old woman from my last semester's Film 31 class. Pepper saw them in the storage room or in some waiting room reading the lines, and Pepper came to me and was like, oh, it's the old woman. And we're like, yo, lol. And then the guy who plays the guy is none other than the DP of last week, who is German. You know, the more I take this class, the more I realize how few Americans there are, and also how few white people there are in our class, which is hilarious. Because there's a girl whose name is Leia, funnily enough, even though she speaks English almost completely natively like me, but she's actually from Czechia. And again, Birkin, I didn't really know he's Turkish. I've always thought he's some sort of white American guy who just looks like a Turk, or who just doesn't look like a typical white person. I don't know. But I and Birkin later spoke a little bit, and he's like, "You're Enoch," and I'm like, "Yeah." And he asked me if it's a Chinese name, and I'm like, "No, it's an English name. It's biblical." And then I asked him, and then he asked me where I'm from finally, and I said Hong Kong, and he said, I asked him where he's from exactly, and he said, Turkey, like south, somewhere near Syria, like a town called Tate or something. But yeah, I don't know. But I like asking people where exactly they are from. But a little bit earlier than that, there was a group of Mexicans, and Pepper was stuck in there as well. So there's Andrea, there's a Christian, and there's a couple of other Mexicans. A very, very, very brown girl, and another dude who is your typical Latino-looking Latino. And I joined in. I was gonna ask, oh, and then the electrician Alan, who's also Mexican. And then I joined in because I was gonna ask Alan to help out with one of the power sources. But I heard their conversation, and they're like, "Oh, we're all Mexican." And then they asked me where I'm from. No, somebody asked me what's my name, and I said Enoch. And they asked me where I'm from, and I said Hong Kong. Same with Pepper, and Pepper's like, "Yeah, Hong Kong gang." Also, at some point, you know, Pepper's doing cable wrangling because she has nothing to do, and Eric's roasting her all the time, like, "Lol, you're so useless." And Pepper's like, fuck you," and like flipped Eric off, and they were having a laugh. And Eric was getting really touchy too. Like Eric, like I wouldn't do that, but Eric was like slapping Pepper's shoulder, and like touching her and stuff, which I guess is fine if you're super extroverted. But I don't know. I wouldn't do that. Anyways, I and Pepper, we were standing at the side, and we spent a little time talking to each other in Cantonese, and you know, we talked about how it's so cool that we can speak Cantonese and nobody will know, which is really cool. And Pepper's also like, Pepper told me that my dressing, my costume, not my costume, like the way I dress is actually very typical Hong Konger, which is surprising because I don't know how I dress. I just see clothes in my closet and I wear them. That's it. And apparently to her, it's typical Hong Konger dress. So that's interesting. I mean, she dresses like a Hong Konger too, don't get me wrong. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much today. And then, so again, we built the set from 9 p.m. to 10:30, and then there are some rehearsals. And after the set is built, lighting is the last thing. So me, Eric, Julia, Alan, we did the lighting stuff. And it wasn't that difficult. It was just two types of lights, Fresnel LED and LED, like whatever, just high-tech light, square light, I don't even know. And it was not that tough to handle. I tried everything. I tried tweaking with the lights. I know it's the gaffer's job, but whatever. I want to try this, right? I'm not going to be gaffer anytime in the future. Maybe, I don't know. But I did some cable wrangling and powering myself, but mostly just light stands, just extending and retracting. And it's kind of easy, actually. It's not that bad. I mean, the lights are heavy, but they're nowhere near as heavy as the fucking flats themselves and the fucking ladder. So it was actually fine, and throughout 11:30 to 12:40, we were just setting up the lights, and it was so confusing because there's a moonlight, there's a street light, it's nighttime, so it can't be too dark, but then at the same time, it can't be too bright, and then there are the lights at the sides, and then the light at the sides need to be at the lower angle, and then they're at the wrong color temperature, and then this and that and this and that. Too soft, too bright. There's the color. There's the contrast ratio. F1.2, F0.5 over there needs to be brighter. So many lights. It's a mess, but we did our best, and for the most part in production, we're just sitting ducks. Anyways, there's lunch, and at 12:50, the professor let us go and told us to come back at 1:30. But the thing is, we still haven't finished setting up the lights, so Julia negotiated with the professor, asking him if we can come back at 1:15. And the professor's like, yeah, okay. So we pretty much only have about 25 minutes to go out and grab food and eat food and come back. So we didn't. So what happened was Pepper, Andrea, Christian, Eric, me, the gang, the gang. I don't know what to call this gang. The detective gang. No, the gang, whatever. We just sat around a table and we just ate there. And Eric brought his own lunch. Christian also brought an apple. He always brings apples. Pepper also brought like a bun from Nijia Market, like a sweet potato bun. And Andrea's not hungry, so I would be really selfish if I just went out. I mean, I could do that myself, but I wouldn't. And besides, I brought a granola bar and a Snickers bar. At the end, I went to the vending machine and bought myself a pack of Ruffles chips. And this is the first time ever in my life using a vending machine in the USA. Specifically, that vending machine too. But it was easy. I just put in two $1 bills, which I conveniently have in my wallet, and Ruffle chips, and then, and then Snickers bar. It was honestly, snacks for lunch. That's fucking sad. But we're making movies, okay? Of course it's sad. Thomas showed up out of nowhere and asked how we're doing, and I was jokingly saying, suffering. And Eric's like, suffering? I thought we had fun. And I'm like, yeah, it's fun, but suffering's funny, Again, Asian humor. Pain is funny, Or Hong Kong humor, But yeah, then at 1:15 we went back and the professor's like, the door is locked. And then finally the doors opened. Me, Julia, I think I was even more active today than Eric, funnily enough. But, anyways, we made the lights, blah, 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 blah. Everything's adjusted, boom, and we start shooting. And we started shooting at 2:30 p.m. Class officially ends at 4:30. So we had 2 hours. And yeah, so the thing is, we had 3 setups only, and we had enough people to have a second unit. So there are 2 cameras at one point for the second setup. And there were points in between each setup when the lights are on, the house lights are on, and everyone's talking, and I and Pepper talk. And the professor's really upset that we're talking and chatting and relaxed, and I totally get that. But yeah, I think even though the set looks better this time than last time, somehow, I think overall the mood of today wasn't as passionate as last time. To me, it just wasn't as intense. I don't know why. But I'm happy I'm able to do the light stuff, even though I'm still at the same location, filming a scene with the same few people. But me working on a different thing it's very novel to me, So that's that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't get much chance. I didn't get a lot of opportunity to speak to Aoba, who is someone I'd like to speak more to. I do get the chance to speak to Pepper a lot. And Pepper starts conversations with me too, which is just epic of the highest levels. Like back in Form 6, when people like Tom voluntarily start conversation with me and Leia and Pink, it's like, damn, and now in the USA with a girl that I just met, I'm just, crossing the lines really. But yeah, I don't know. I and Aoba spoke a little bit at the end when we were okay, so we only did 3 setups, and after that, the professor's like, okay, that's a wrap. And clearly he was disappointed. Um, and at that point, it was 4:20 p.m., and we spent about 20 minutes deconstructing the whole set. And again, everyone's wanting to go home, and I moved the light stands, all that stuff. There was a flat, and I tried to move the flat with my head again, like last week, like both arms around the flat, and then with my head as a support. So I actually like tried to lower it so that it hits my head like intentionally. But the actor from last week helped me. And then there were the jacks, and I could move them one by one. But I'm a macho man, so I tried to move three at once, and it was very fucking heavy. So I like leaned the jacks against my thighs. So I was like, it was almost like I was a cripple, but instead of a crutch, it was the three jacks on my left thigh, and I was just like boom, kaboom, 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 kaboom. I was like this, or more like only twice, kaboom, kaboom. And it was clearly that I was suffering, but I was also enjoying. I was enjoying my suffer. I'm a bit of a masochistic boy, I must admit, and sometimes when I'm super tired and I'm trying to lift heavy ass things and it's hurting me, I actually kind of enjoy it. But Alba saw me and was like, Enoch, are you okay? And Eric immediately was like, haha, I'm okay, like impersonating me. But I didn't say I'm okay or not okay. I'm just like, okay, sure, if you want to help me. But I enjoy that though. Like, yeah, it's tough. But I enjoy lifting heavy things because to me it's almost like training. Like my arms are actually kind of tired right now, but it's good because it's like, what if something very fucking heavy, happens and I have to lift it? It's like it's good practice. All right. But yeah, that's basically it. And then I and Alba. So Alba last week made an Instagram story about helping out with ICC and all that stuff, and Pepper answered her in her DMs. And I couldn't because I'm already scriptwriting club vice president. I can't do anything with the ICC. That's impossible. It's mutually exclusive. Because ICC is the club police. I cannot be part of the club leadership, but also be part of club police. That's corruption. But good to know we still have connections. And so Pepper had to do the FERPA quiz thing, and she and Alba talked a little bit, which is again nice. It's actually nice to see them like talk. And then finally Alba's like, see you. She just left and darted away. And I said, oh, see you tomorrow, because tomorrow there's a club awareness day. So so even though I didn't get the chance to speak to Alba today all that much, I can speak to her tomorrow. So there's always the next chance, But yeah, it's quite nice. And then what happens afterwards is quite funny. When Pepper and Andrea were like, we're hungry, let's go somewhere to eat. And Pepper's like, what do you want to eat? Korean food, Japanese food? And Andrea's like, I don't know, I don't care. Andrea just comes off like a very sassy girl. Like she's always like, whatever, fuck it, screw it, So Pepper's like, you want to eat sushi? Do you want to try Sushi Stop, which is a place that I've never tried? And Andrea's like, oh, sure, fuck it. So Andrea drived, and because they're also going to the area that I'm living in right now, I'm like, oh, can I join? And they're like, oh, Andrea's like, oh, sure, whatever. So I just joined. I went into Andrea's car, and we drove. And we went to Sushi Stop, and we went to a parking lot across it. And it was parking for customers only. We get spotted. Some guy from the restaurant showed up and told us to park somewhere else. So we went back to the car and we parked somewhere else. And at the end, we went to this little outlet place, which I've been to and filmed many times already. The ramen place that I had with JT, the Wanderlust ice cream, that place. So we went there, we parked the car there, and because it is also apparently customers only, so we cannot leave that premise and go to Sushi Stop, which is literally just a street away. So instead, we just went to eat ice cream, which is something that I'm not particularly that crazy about as of now because I already have Ben and Jerry's and another ice cream in my fridge right now. But you know what? With Pepper and Andrea, it's nice to hang out with them. So I went to Wanderlust and I got myself a $7.25 double scooped Sawtell stracciatella and passion fruit ice cream. And it's actually really good, of course. And it's the second time I've tried this place. It's the first time for both Pepper and Andrea. And Pepper got Earl Grey and Andrea got like some Vietnamese coffee, something, I don't know. But we just stood outside of the store and we just ate and we just chatted really nicely. We mainly talked about just what year we're at, Andrea's in her first year. We talked about racism a little bit because um you know, Andrea's a Mexican girl, and she talked about how some white girls of her similar age have called her slurs. I asked her if somebody has called her Latinx before, and she's like, no, but somebody called me the B word. You know what word? Um, and I said, oh, I haven't experienced any racism, but maybe my first host is kind of racist. So, that's pretty interesting. Um, but yeah, you know, like, like, Andrea gets called the B word, and she's like, whatever, fuck you, you know? And Andrea just calls him white, and she said white is already a powerful enough insult. And then I'm like, oh, there's another word, right? Gringo? And she's like, oh yeah, gringo. But yeah. And then Andrea's friend tells her that, oh, the white people, they're only jealous because they don't have a culture. Which I don't really agree with because culture is, I guess you could argue that white people culture or American white people culture doesn't go all the way back. It's not as historic, but it still exists, in some form. It's just not as, rich, I guess. Um, and different people of different age and gender and socioeconomic class um, experience different things. And even for white people, like white people in New York, white people in LA, white people in Texas, they all experience different things. So it's really tough to pinpoint, what culture really is. But anyways, yeah, we had our ice cream, and then Andrea had to leave. So I and Pepper had another short but nice talk on our way, you know, back to our respective residence. We talked about. I told Pepper that I'm going to Japan, so Pepper's not leaving at all this December. But last time I told Pepper that the last time I traveled was 2019 summer, and Pepper's like, "Oh yeah, me too." And I asked her where did she go, and she's like, "Oh, Japan." And I'm like, "Wow." And then we talked about UCLA transfer a little bit, um, and how it's whatever script idea we got, personal statements, whatever. Um, and whoa, John L just texted me. Um, yeah. So yeah, that's it. I waved Pepper goodbye. That's it. I asked Pepper what is she going to write for her personal challenge essay for UCLA, and that's partially because I'm curious what she's gonna write, but also, um, I legit want to know like what personal shit do you have going on, and Pepper didn't have any. All Pepper said was, "Oh, my challenge essay is basically going to be, all the people I know when I came to USA, they all left me and it made me feel kind of empty, and that's it." Which is a pretty, I don't know, pretty tame way. My idea is social anxiety, even though I don't even have much social anxiety to be honest. But I'm gonna write it in a very cinematic way. But you never know. Maybe Pepper's gonna write it in a very cinematic and emotional way as well. Um, and that's pretty much it. So yeah. Again, I also asked Aoba if she's the only one managing the social media, the Instagram page of Scriptwriting Club last year, and she's like, yeah, which basically means she followed me before I even followed her on Instagram. Um, and yeah, with Aoba asking me if I'm okay, seeing me suffer. So yeah, glad I'm seeing her tomorrow. Um, and that's it. My acne is just like here. There's two new one here, and then there's one here. Like what the fuck? It's just not ending. But yeah, that's it. John L's asking me some stuff now, so gotta answer. All right, so time now is 10 p.m. Ooh, I'm so freaking tired, but I have to wake up early tomorrow again for the Club Awareness Day, which is also exciting. Yeah. So here's what I'm gonna do. I got homework. Um, I want to watch an episode of Misang tonight again. Maybe I will do a review, an album review of sorts. And then that's it. I will continue to do more research on UCLA and USC and other uni application stuff because it's really time to do research. Pepper said she's already working on the script and the personal essays and all that. So all right, my phone just crashed because it ran out of storage space, so I need to re-say everything I've just said. But time now is 10:07 p.m. I just finished dinner. I'm not gonna do too much for the rest of the night. I'm gonna do some homework. I'm gonna watch an episode of Misang. I'm gonna edit some videos. Maybe I'll do an album review. That's it. So a couple more addendums. Three more addendums to today's Film 32 class. One is about the big Latino guy. Nothing important, but he's the editor for today's scene, and I think it was Liana, the Russian girl, who sat on a fake patch of grass on the ground. And I jokingly said, "Oh, she wants to touch grass." And then that guy was like, "Oh, she's a Chainsaw Man fan." And I'm like, "Ooh, a manga enjoyer, I guess, an anime enjoyer." So I was like, more like VTuber fan. And then we sat next to each other and we talked a little bit about that. He was like, "Oh, I'm an old anime watcher, but I still can't get into VTubers." Um, so there's that. Another thing is Christian was the boom operator today, and at some point somebody was like, "You know what? Let's get him an Apple box," and I immediately grabbed one for him, and it was a pretty nice moment for me. And I think even the professor was like, "Thank you," and it's awesome because I wasn't like, "Ooh, I'm tired. I don't want to go," but I want to act cool, so let me just grab the Apple box. I just did it instinctively, like without even having that thought process. So, kindness. Another thing is, today break I ran into the Indian guy who introduced Thomas to Lauren, the DP, who helped Thomas on his short film as the DP. It's funny because yesterday I ran into Lauren during break in film two, and today during break after lunch I ran into the Indian guy in the same campus. And then last Tuesday, I ran into the Indian guy as well, and that's the first time I met him in person. So that's really interesting, and it's just really cool that I know all these film people now. Like even if they are not in my class, like I just know them. I just know a lot of people now, so that's really cool. Um, and then that's pretty much it. Um, I will be seeing Aoba tomorrow for the club awareness day. I have to wake up early again. Fuck. It's gonna be tough, but I hope that I get the chance to speak with Aoba tomorrow. Um, and that's pretty much it. Oh, also John L, the guy from the HKOS. Earlier today, he DM'd me asking me for help for his short film, which is going to take place on Saturday and Sunday. And that's very unfortunate because that's exactly when Thomas needs my help on Saturday and Sunday. Now, I would very much rather help John L. than Thomas because John L. is a Hong Konger and he's way more experienced. But I have already said yes to Thomas and I don't want to betray him because Thomas probably needs even more help. But I would love to work with John L. So I told him if you got any other projects in the future, you can ask for me. Also, speaking of HKOS, the founder of HKOS texted both me and Pepper earlier this morning on whether we would want to meet up to discuss more on this organization, which is also really cool. And last night I also sent an email to my professors about internship, so hopefully I get some response from that. But that's pretty much it. I'll do some research on uni application and transfer and all that stuff, internship, personal essays. Pepper's already starting to write her personal essays. I should too. So the clock is ticking, and yeah. Small side note here, I just finished dinner, which is pork chops, potatoes, and a salad kit. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with my potatoes. 2 of the small potatoes I had turned green, and one of them became wet and had black patches, which is really fucking gross. I cut it open. I thought it was mold. It wasn't mold, but I threw it away anyways. But the pork chops, they're pre-cooked from a few days ago, and I microwaved it. And the thing is, the pork chop still has a lot of cumin, because when I cooked it, I still wasn't aware that cumin was the issue. And I still don't think cumin, I'm still not 100% sure cumin is the issue, but I think it is. It's my hypothesis. Yeah. Look at my fucking face. I blame cumin. I really do. Alright, time now is 9:56 a.m. in the morning on September 29th. Yep. I went to bed at 3:05, didn't immediately fall asleep, and then slept till 9:30. God damn it. I wish I could have had a full sleep. The last time I had that was I don't know, last Saturday. And I can't do this at all this week because tomorrow I actually have to wake up a bit early because I also have an event at 5 p.m. so I can't wake up too late. Fuck. So I have to wake up earlier every single day of the week. But tomorrow it's not really a huge deal. Last night before I went to bed, there were some fire trucks outside of the building. Some blinking red lights. And I was like, what the heck? Is there a fire? Or is it like, I don't know. I jokingly thought to myself, is this Cindy? Is she going to emergency again? And then I walked past Cindy's bedroom and it's wide open. The door is wide open and Cindy's not in it. So probably, yes, Cindy did go to the emergency room. And then the door is opened. The door to the apartment is opened, it's unlocked, and it's slightly opened. Okay. I see. So she forgot her keys. Again. And then at 3:54 a.m. in the morning, she texted us on WhatsApp, me and the other guy, saying that she went to the emergency room and she forgot her keys. But at that point, I was already asleep. So, yeah. But it appears that she's successfully made it back because the main gate of the building is also somehow opened. But yeah. Nothing else, actually. So today, it's going to be another interesting day. I'm going to go to the main campus of the college to be representing my club, script writing club, and for Club Awareness Day. And I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I only know that I'm supposed to arrive at 11:15, or the thing begins at 11:15, but I'm sure I need to arrive a bit earlier. That's pretty much it. So maybe at around 10:20-ish, I'll leave the apartment. I'll be seeing Aoba there, and hopefully it's not a situation where we're separated and we can't talk, separate booths. I hope we're all in the same freaking booth. Actually, that's kind of impossible because she's ICC. We're probably going to be separated. But still, let's hope that we get the chance to talk to each other and maybe I'll find out something interesting about her, which is all I need right now. Interesting stories about people. So there's that. And then that's it for today. Yeah, not much else. I really hope this acne episode ends. It's been going on for 5 weeks now. 4 weeks, 5 weeks now. It's not stopping. I've never had acne this bad before in my life, I think. I think I almost peaked at 2019 and 2020. Fuck. Yeah, that's that. Last night I also paid OneDrive to continue my storage, which is weird because I thought my mom paid for the family plan. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much else. I still find Pepper not that interesting, especially after the ice cream meetup. Not the ice cream meetup. It's also ironic because like I'm gonna have an ice cream meetup tomorrow again, which is stupid. But you know, especially with me, especially after eating ice cream with Pepper, her personality seems to be less interesting now. Again, like she's just making jokes. Like there was a moment yesterday when she's like staring into the air, and Eric was like, "Are you okay? You're just like zoning out and stuff." And Pepper's like, "Oh, I'm okay." But staring in the air is like your average East Asian activity, you know. But I guess according to an American, it's just like a weird thing, you know. Are you like fucking depressed or something? No, we're just daydreaming. And I think that's it. Because Alba stares into the air sometimes as well. That's one really good indication if someone's interesting or not, is how much they daydream. Because if they daydream, they think, you know. God, my hair is so bad. I'm also thinking about when I should do a haircut. I'll save some storage space. I'll shut up. So time now is 11:03 a.m. Fuck. I'm extremely late. So I'm supposed to the Club Awareness Day starts at 11:15, and if I take the bus now, there's no way in hell am I gonna make it in time. If I take the bus now, I'll arrive at 11:45, which is fucking stupid because by then the event will already have been almost over. And I also said earlier today that I want to arrive early, like maybe at 11 a.m. and it's already 11:03. Fuck. So guess what I did? I called an Uber. That's right. I called an Uber, $9.83, which is fucking insane. But you know what? Once in a while, baby. Once in a while. It's 11:16. I made it. Only a minute late.
There's like no maximum, honestly. At least if you just have over 3.0, then
I was happy like
to learn the rules so you can know how to play them in a way that is innovative. So that's why. Notice this. You guys, the line starts on like the other side of the road. Right. So now I'll take Roscoe's class and
All right. Time now is 2:50 p.m. Let's talk about today. Wow. So lots of stuff to report, lots of stuff to talk about. But essentially, I had a French toast this morning, and I realized I didn't have enough time. I was gonna leave. I was planning to leave at 10:20, but at 10:30, I just finished writing my script for my Proto Martyr album review. I finished the review at around 10:50, which is messed up. So I decided to take an Uber ride, $9.5 something, which is stupidly expensive. 9,872, so that's 72 something Hong Kong dollars. That's fucking stupid, you know. But at least it's way better than the 20 something or the 50 something dollar ride to Whittier and then back. And that is shared with Pepper as well. But anyways, I arrived at the campus and voila, I found the script writing club, film club, whatever, editing club booth. And it's like the third time the college has had a club fair, and I have attended all three so far. Of course, I attended the first one, the VIP day. That's the day I saw Aoba. And then yeah, and then of course there's a second time I went there by accident, not really by accident, but I didn't intend to go to this college fair. I was just trying to go to buy a lab manual for my biology class, and then today's the third time, so it's stupid. It's just September and there are already 3 club fairs. But today is special because the first club fair, there were no like Korean societies and like Japanese societies. There's none of that. It was more like clubs that are already pre-existing and just enrollment and transfer stuff. And then the second time, it wasn't much of a club fair. It was just a bunch of boring shit, you know, like transfer, security, money, admission fee, whatever. And today is probably the most interesting one because you get the clubs that are registered, that are renewed. Like the Japanese Student Society, the Korean Student Society was right across us. There's a Middle Eastern Society where there's literally no one but a woman, and they were very unpopular. And then there's the Indonesian Society. So right off the bat, I found my booth, and here we go. Theo, the Italian guy, Betsy, the Latina girl, the boss, the film boss of this college, the boss of filmmaking. And then there's Mateusz, the Polish guy, who's the VP of Film Club, and there's this Chinese girl. I can tell she's Chinese immediately by looking at her. She looks like Gong Li. But she introduced herself. Her name is Leslie. Leslie Jia? Leslie is a gender neutral name. But you know, and she later revealed that she's from Shenyang, so very up north. And then I introduced myself, and she immediately asked me. I guess she could immediately tell that I'm not a local Asian American. I'm East Asian for real. So she asked me if I speak another language. What's my first language? And I say Cantonese. And then I later revealed that I'm from Hong Kong. And she's like, "Oh, you're from Hong Kong? Do you like Wong Kar-wai?" And I'm like, "Yeah." That's the first thing people think about when they think of Hong Kong cinema. And she fist bumped me because I guess fist bumps, you know, you get to LA, you fist bump. And then she said her favorite is Happy Together. And I said my favorite is Fallen Angels. So that's pretty cool. And she's nice. She's nice. I got her Instagram and I got Mateusz Instagram as well a little bit later. There were some, like, again, as far as Chinese people go, I don't find myself having political tension with any of them, actually. Especially this one, honestly, because at some point we were joking. I didn't take this whole club fair thing seriously, honestly. Like, flyers were flying around because there was wind, and it was sort of awkward, and I stood there not knowing what to do, and I was kind of awkward, and I was just like joking around. Wow. God damn it. I'm fucked. My hair looks like a spaceship. My face is fucked, and I'm sneezing. And I'm feeling dizzy because I don't have enough sleep. Yeah. Essentially there's that. It's cool, you know. So of course I came here. I spent $9 almost $10, $10 US just to come here. But I did meet a couple more people, so that's interesting. Oh yeah, in the middle, while we were like, you know, doing the flyers and trying to prevent them from flying away, we were joking that, wow, this is very international because there's a Polish guy, there's a Chinese girl, there's a Hong Konger, there's a Latina who speak Spanish, and the Chinese girl was like, "Oh, you speak Spanish? I didn't know that." And then we were like, "Yeah, like none of us are Americans." Or even if Betsy's American, like Betsy's not white, okay? So I guess. So we're joking, haha, we're the anti-American club. And then the Polish guy for some reason randomly asked the Chinese girl, like, "Are you anti-American?" And the Chinese girl's like, "Oh, I'm not anti-American, but I know some people who are, and I won't tell you." So ooh, political dissidents, or more like dissidents to America, radicalized in China, which is very interesting. But a little bit later, because last night I made an Instagram story, basically a screenshot of Twitter, a tweet I found, and it's really interesting. So essentially, China is brainwashing kids. And they're trying to indoctrinate children with these nationalist thoughts, and they were teaching children, what their dream should be. And the child would write on the blackboard, the dream I want, what I want to do when I grow up, is to sabotage American technology. Like a 7-8-year-old child write this. And another child was like, "I want to be a soldier." And another child, a girl, was like, "I want to, I don't know, like, farm. I just want to own a farm," which is a very communist thing. And then the last kid wrote, I just want freedom. Whoa, what the fuck? And so somebody replied in that tweet saying, just 4 words. Just 4 words. And these 4 words represent the 4 dreams that I just discussed: sickle, cannon fodder, chives, and dissident. And I just thought it's such a banger tweet because it just hit the mark so well, and it's so poetic at the same time. It doesn't sound as catchy when I say it in English, but in Cantonese it sounds so freaking catchy, these 4 words together, but it also hits so hard. So I took a screenshot and put it on my Instagram story, and the Chinese girl liked it. Wow, okay. Another thing was Christian randomly showed up, but he didn't see me at first until me and the Chinese girl waved at him. Now, like I said yesterday, because I'm in my film major in my college and I already know a bunch of people, so there are so many connections. So as of now, Leslie, the Chinese girl, is actually taking film 20 with Christian and Alba, the Mexican girl from last film 40, whom I both know, but I know Christian because Christian's also in my film 32 right now. And, Betsy and Theo are also in film 32, but on Friday, I just know tons of people now for some reason. So Christian suddenly showed up, and the Chinese girl was told me in Mandarin, she said, "He's very handsome, and he dresses very well." I can't really hear that well because she speaks in a very northern accent, she really with the rhotic R's. So I couldn't hear very well, but she said Christian's handsome, and I'm like, "What, really?" And I jokingly was like, "Christian!" Of course, Christian's not gonna hear me. I'm not gonna scream, but I'm just trolling around. And then the Chinese girl hit me in the back, which is very funny. It kind of reminds me of Eric and other girls' interactions, like Eric with Pepper or Eric with Hinata, the Brazilian girl. So that's pretty interesting. But that's pretty much it. Now, there are also a couple of things I want to do at this spot. One is I want to look for Alba and chat with her. Number 2 is I want to look for Hong Kong Student Association. And I sort of did both, but it was disappointing. So first of all, I explored around. At some point, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go around and explore. So I walked around, and it was nice. I also want to just look for people to talk because I am a real extrovert. But I eventually found out that there's no Hong Kong Student Association. Okay, Alba suddenly showed up. Before I looked around, Alba suddenly showed up. In our booth, I could immediately recognize her by her hair, because it's unmistakable. And I was like, "Oh, hey." And she's like, "Hey." And she's really friendly to me for some reason. She's smiling and she's like, "How are you doing?" And I'm like, "Good." And I'm like, and you're at the ICC? And she's like, "Yeah, right over there." And we continue to talk a little bit, I guess. she told me that I can walk around and check out other booths, check out the Japanese Student Association. Um, and so I and Alba, we just left, and it's just us two walking down the aisle. Um, and I told Alba that I'm looking for Hong Kong Student Association, and then I walked past it, and I realized that Hong Kong Student Association has officially been destroyed and is replaced by Asian Pacific Islander and Desi Student Association, which is hilarious. And there were like 4 people guarding that booth. I just walked up to them like I'm a normal customer, and they're like, "Ah, what's up?" And I said, "Oh, I was in the Hong Kong Student Association Discord, and there's a half Cambodian, half Chinese girl, and then there's another Chinese girl, who has like a piercing and like." Who doesn't look Chinese, but more so Chinese American. She's kind of tan skinned and she looks super liberal. And and she's just like, oh, we're changing the club because we're trying to be inclusive, blah, 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 blah. To be honest, I really wish to see a Hong Kong Student Association, but seeing them sort of ruin the club like that, it's a little sad. But whatever, cool. Pacific Islander, of course, you need a club for them as well. So it's whatever. So I just talked with them a little bit. And I'm like, haha, yeah, trying to smile and nod. And I was like, oh, thank you. And I joined their Discord. I scanned a QR code and I joined the Pacific Islander Discord group. So there's that. But yeah, I then followed Alba to the ICC booth, and that is when I met Antoine, the Lebanese guy whom I've seen a couple times in Zoom because of the Friday Mingle thing. Earlier in January with JT, and then I saw in person in the VIP day, and this time this is the first time I talked to the guy, and he's like, hi, you can join ICC, blah, blah, but actually I'm the VP of Scriptwriting Club. I can't do this. I can't join the ICC, But I spoke with Alba a little bit. I even told her, oh, by the way, in this December, I'll be traveling to Japan. And she jokingly said, oh, go check out the Japanese Student Association, learn, you can learn more about the Japan and stuff. And I don't know, it's fun that Alba's joking around with me, I guess. I mean, I know she's being half serious, but only half, But also it just seems like, I don't know. But she's nice, she's nice, and you can tell that she's closer to me now. But yeah, there's that. And I was going to chat with Alba more, but more people come to the ICC booth and she's sort of carried away, and I'm like, okay, I'll go back. And hopefully maybe by the end of today, when Alba leaves, I can catch up with her and we can continue the chat. And we didn't do that. So at around 12:30, booths started to close, but our film club booth, it's still going. And I literally watched Alba grabbing her backpack and then storming away. Just zoop, that's it. She's alone and she's gone. And I'm like, wow, So it was a little disappointing because of that. But oh well, I'll see her next Wednesday. What's the fuss? What's all the fuss about? I'll see you next Wednesday. Again, I'm so grateful for Film 32. In another scenario, back in secondary school, I can't speak to Mary. I can't say, I'll see her again. No, I have no idea when I'll be seeing her next. So, but I'll be seeing Alba, next Wednesday. So that's that. And if push comes to shove, or if possible, I can talk to her on Instagram or Discord. It's totally fine, man. It's totally fine. And then at one point, I think I saw Pepper. She's very far away. I'd say 30-something meters away, 30-something, 40-something meters away. Almost 2 classrooms away. And I can't really see her face, but with how she dresses and her hair, I think it was Pepper. I think I've seen Pepper enough to be able to sense her, even if she's 50 meters away. So that's that. I'm gonna ask her later. And that's pretty much it. And then I also want to socialize more. So at some point, Mateusz and Theo didn't help much with the club, he was in his pirate costume and he just walked around flirting with girls. Because that's Theo in a nutshell. You know, he's just a really charismatic guy who's really laid back. Yo, what's up? Be happy. And he's just running around flirting with girls, and that's mainly what he did. So he got attracted to a couple of girls in Korean Student Association. There were a couple of cute girls there, and we were like, Theo, Theo, and he was there. And then Matthias went over, and Matthias got distracted as well. And I'm like, oh, you know what? Screw it. So I also went over and talked with them a little bit, but I didn't talk much actually. I was only there like staring and looking, but it's a lot of fun. You know, the Chinese girl being surprised that, you know, there's so many nationalities and so many cultures being represented. I mean, I am also surprised too, you know. I mean, I'm from Hong Kong and I've lived in LA for a while, but, you know, just the cultural representation, it's insane. You know, down the corner, there's the Koreans. Down that corner, there's the Japanese. Oh, the Indonesians. Oh, the Jewish are over there. Israelis. There's SIS, which is students, Israel support, SIS, and it was just two Israelites just like standing there. It was, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Yeah, just the cultural representation. It's insane, honestly. Like, there aren't that many places in the world where people can say, "Oh, I have 3 Japanese friends, 4 Korean friends, 5 Polish friends, whatever." Like people are collecting ethnicities and cultures like Pokemons. So it's really interesting. You know, you don't get that anywhere. And that's pretty much it. I still fulfilled what I want to do. I still spoke with Aoba. She's nice to me. That's great. I still found the HKOS. Not HKOS, the HKSA, which is now destroyed. It's funny because the Korean student, again, I didn't take any of this seriously. So when I spoke with strangers, I was sort of like, you know, almost in a joking manner, almost like with a dash of irony. So when I saw the Korean girls, I told one of them like, oh man, like the Hong Kong Student Association is destroyed. I'm so like, wow, I'm a little jealous that you Koreans, like, you get to keep your association. Mine is destroyed. So that's that. But yeah, that's all. And I'm not that surprised that the Chinese girl is like not a big fan of the CCP as well, because if you come to USA, you're automatically under the pretense, under the idea that you don't love your country enough to stay. You know, you want to go out. If you want to go out, there's already a dash of like, you know, questioning the CCP in you. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I wish I could have had more chatting time with Aoba, because it would be great. But I'm sure more chances will come up one way or another. I also learned stuff about admissions. Betsy said last year 14 people from this college went to UCLA Film School, which is actually a bit better than I thought. I thought only 8 people went. I guess 8 was last year's. I don't know, where did 8 come from? 8 out of 800, like 800 people applied and only 8 got in. And then Betsy's saying 14 people got in last year, which is 14 out of like 200 and something, which is like way better, but it's still very tough. But I'll try my best, really. And that's it. After it, so my original plan is just to get home, but because I didn't plan anything for lunch, I'm just going to buy Subway. And Betsy was like, oh, you know, I and Theo, we're going to CMD and I'm going to do an interview with him, sort of for this little TikTok web series thing, which suck. Oh, at one point, there's a woman who was like, ooh, let's do a TikTok. And Betsy's like, oh, I'm not going to do it. So Betsy immediately left. And I fucking hate TikTok. TikToks can suck a fucking dick. TikToks can grind their penises, okay? Like, I hate TikTok. So I also like left, and then it's just the Chinese girl and the Polish guy, but they both don't have TikTok either. The Polish guy was like, I'm too proud of myself to have TikTok. And then the Chinese girl's like, same. And I'm like, yeah, same. And then we fist bumped like three-way. It's so silly, but it's so damn good too. Because we, the film club, TikToks are for nerds, okay? TikToks are for fatherless people. So, we do that, And that's it. Oh yeah, so Betsy and Theo, they were gonna just grab lunch in a restaurant nearby, and Miles showed up. Miles from Film 40 last year. He sort of disappeared for a while. He's back now. He's ready to go back to the college next semester. And I talked with him for a little while. And then there's a Colombian girl from my film history class that I saw her a bit as well. We went to the Korean restaurant nearby. Me, Betsy, Theo, Miles, when we went there, and I ordered myself a $16.99, including tips, chicken bibimbap, and I ate it all, and it's nice. I'm happy I can eat Korean food, even in West LA, And so lunch issue is resolved. I don't need to buy Subway now. I had a good meal. And more money is wasted. Again, $10 this morning for the Uber, but it's good. It's whatever. Live a little. I'm getting to be questioning how financially stable I am as well, because Theo cannot afford UCLA or even, of course, USC, Chapman. Like, they're too freaking expensive. But even for UCLA, I'm arguably fucking broke, okay? My mom works in a non-profit organization. My dad's, I think he's unemployed. Like, we're going broke at any given moment. So I don't know, I feel a sense of pressure already, man. Like, a lot of people have loans, and a lot of people sleep on the streets and eat insects. There are homeless people in Santa Monica with maths and engineering master's degree. There's a YouTube video about that. I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to be evicted if I can't pay my rent. This shit is so expensive. So yeah, I really don't know. And I have a feeling that Pepper's a little richer than me. I get a sense from that. But I'm fucking broke, man. So yeah. But totally unplanned lunch with Betsy and Theo, and it was nice. We all chat really nice. I didn't want to take off my mask because of all my acne, but then everybody take off their mask. And I thought Alba would have a mask on. Nope, nobody had their masks on. But yeah, there's that. And then we had lunch. Betsy also ordered chicken bibimbap. Theo ordered chicken ramen. Miles didn't order anything because he wants to save money. And then we just talked about, like film routes. And Miles kept on babbling about how he went into the industry, went into working for some agency, and then he got fired because there were too many PAs, so they want to get rid of some PAs, and he got fired, and so he needs to go back to school now. And we talked about transfer, blah, blah, and then suddenly the conversation went political again, which is awesome. I love politics. And we were talking about homeless, and then we started to talk about the police and how they handle the homeless, and then Theo started to go on this very elaborate sort of, not really rant, but sort of this elaborate speech about how it's not really the police fault. It's more like they're just following orders, so it's the mayor's fault or the politician's fault for making the police enact these, taking away the homeless stuff. But I kind of disagree. I'm from Hong Kong. I see police brutality first fucking hand. I know people who got arrested. I fucking hate the police, And it's not like all the police are following orders. Some of them are genuinely corrupt. There are cops out there who are genuinely perverted, wife-beating, kids-groping motherfuckers. And they deserve punishment for real, okay? Like, I know corrupt policemen. Hong Kong police force, 70% of them are basically associated with underground gangs and the mafia. It's stupid, okay? These cops, it's so corrupted and broken and stinky and garbage inside out. So I don't really agree. If we want to protest, Theo said If you want to protest, don't protest outside of the police station. It's not going to work. It doesn't matter. We just need a voice. We just need the press to see us. We just need to rise and stand up. We can protest anywhere. That's literally the Hong Kong spirit, you know? Be like water, so literally just protest anywhere, anytime, and then move. You know, you protest in the fucking train station. You protest in front of the police station. You protest anywhere, okay? But Theo's still a very chill guy. And Theo did this really stereotypical, Italia, pizza, pasta, sort of like this impression. And then I said, oh, I can also do a very stereotypical Hong Konger English impression. So, this is so delicious, pizza, whatever. And Theo's like, I love it. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. But yeah, today's not that interesting or anything, but I'll say I did achieve my goals quite a bit. I should have woken up earlier and taken the bus, but it's whatever. And I also thought about going to Nijia Market today. You know what? I won't. I'm tired as hell. I'll go tomorrow, and then tomorrow I'll have to go to the campus, the CMD campus apparently, and do the ice cream social meetup. And I think Pepper will be there. I don't know. Doesn't matter. If nobody shows up, I can chat with Thomas. That's it. But I'll go to Nijia Market before. So that's tomorrow. That's pretty much it. So overall, it's alright. Alright, time now is 7:34 p.m. I'm about to have dinner. So I didn't do a single thing in the last 4 hours. Other than editing my Proto Martyr album review. I don't know why, I was just so bored. And I don't have a lot to do for the rest of the day, I realize, which is real weird given how busy I am lately. And even if I have something to do, I have no motivation to do anything right now. I really do not. Wow, my voice is crisp suddenly. That's awesome. Cindy's playing a song called Rachel Green, and she kept playing it. She played it for like 20-something times. I put on my earphones to listen to music, to avoid her music, but I got tired of my own music, and I put away the phones, and she still played it like 4 or 5 times. So that's amazing. But yeah, right now I'm really bored, and I have nothing to do, and I just want to talk for some reason. I'm in the mood for talking. And I don't want to eat food right now either. So you know what? I'm just going to talk. So I'm going to talk about something really irrelevant, so I'm not going to put this in my main channel at all. Just some simple thoughts on what's going on in my mind lately. I really like the liberty of talking whenever I want to talk, because now that I have restraints, like doing these 10-minute, 15-minute challenges, it's like, but I have thoughts though. I have thoughts and feelings though. But anyways, yeah, I'm astonished, and I made a tweet today too. I'm astonished how far I've gone, like literally, all the way from last Sunday till this Sunday, 8 days, I'm going to go out of my apartment every single day and meet people and talk to them. And that is insane. That is something that I would never be able to accomplish. And to be fair, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I also went out because of school. And on Sunday, I went out because of church. And then today, it's the Club Awareness Day. Like, nobody asked me to hang out. But the fact that I have things to do and places to go already make me really valid as a person. The fact that so many people, the fact that Betsy and Theo just straight up invite me out for lunch. Not really invite, it's just like, oh, you want to grab lunch with us? Or the fact that people are treating me nicely. Or the fact that I'm being name dropped. Like, people literally say Enoch. The fact that some random Hong Konger, not even random Hong Konger, the fact that there's someone out there, John L., who's asking for my help, the fact that Thomas is asking for my help, and so many people is asking for my help that I have to turn down John L. Like, that's insane. The fact that I've gone this far from 2019 to 2022. I guess, I don't know, if I had gone to BU and studied film there, would I be like this? Maybe. I feel like I would like in an alternate universe, if I ended up staying in Hong Kong, will I have, you know, become a lot more social? Yes, I will. But I feel like the fact that I'm in LA right now just pushes me even harder because you get a sort of social pressure in Hong Kong, I guess. But in here, if you act weird, it's fine. You can just brush it off and say it's a cultural difference because there are just so many cultures in LA. So yeah, it's really good, you know. I'm also thinking about again, the one thing that I'm truly excited for right now is honestly the trip to Japan. Um, and I will use my phone to film, but I also legit think that my phone will not be good enough for the Japan trip. Like as far as awesome photography goes, but the main point is if I use my phone to vlog, then my phone is gonna run out of storage space really fast. In fact, it's already running out right now. Um, so I need a camera, and I've lately for the last 3 4 days I've been watching YouTube videos about Sony cameras. And I have decided A7 III, and I'm thinking about the lens because I realize, like I learned a while ago that one of the reasons why my vlogs seem shaky whenever I use a camera to vlog is because I'm using the wrong lens, not because I'm shaky. My mom and my aunt, they're always like, "Wow, you're so shaky. I feel so dizzy watching your videos." Well, yeah, partially it's on me, but also like if I walk around and if I want to show things and I use like normal lens, it's gonna look shaky. So when people vlog, people use wide lens because the shake is less. You know, it looks less shaky. So I want to buy a wide lens, but then there's a zoom problem because if I do a wide zoom, it will be usually a wide lens zoom goes from about 12 to like 24, which is kind of lame. And then there's 18 to 50. And honestly, 18 is already wide enough for me. With a full frame camera, 18 is already quite wide. And 18 to 50, 50 is not much of a zoom either. So maybe for some zoom shots, I will just change to my phone. But another issue is I won't be able to vlog much if my family is around. But there have been occasions when I tried to vlog even with my family around. Like back in 2020 February when we went to Stanley, I don't know when was the other occasion. When was the other occasion? I kind of forgot. Was it the camping? I actually forgot. I don't. I'm pretty sure there have been moments when I've tried to vlog in front of my family, but then try to hide it because I don't want them to know I'm vlogging, which is very dangerous. I may have to tell them. But hold on, let me check. But I can try my very best to hide the fact that I'm vlogging, but it's gonna be really tough. Yeah, I don't think I have vlogged in front of my parents. Have I? I'm pretty sure I have. But yeah, this is gonna be tough. I'm just gonna try to get as much alone time as possible. But then the even bigger issue is I will go back to Hong Kong in January, but that's actually a really critical month because that is the application period when I start applying for universities. And if I stay in USA, maybe it'll put me in an advantage. So yeah, there's that. Nothing else. I realized that even though I live a very simple life now, all I think about is university application, but more and more things are sprouting at the sides right now. Like, my life is getting to be more complicated. You know, a secondary succession? It's a term in ecology where after a forest is burnt and destroyed, the ashes of the burnt plants and trees and everything are actually they turn into sort of this um, fertilizer for the soil, and then plants will grow, and we start to see an a sort of biosphere, not biosphere, bio something forming. Um, and that's sort of what's happening to me right now. I came to USA with a clean slate, not knowing what to expect, but now I have multiple things going on at once. I have Pepper, I have Aoba, who I still really want to just talk to privately. I hope one of these days. And then there are people like the HKOS, which is something that I'm looking forward to because I met up with the founder. So again, like it's stupidly insane actually. Like in April when I went to UCLA to watch Revolution of Our Times, I didn't even think about joining the organization who screened it. I just thought of, oh, maybe I could find Hong Kongers when I watched the screening. But then it just sort of snowballed. I watched Lan Yu and I ran into John L, which is one of the luckiest things I've ever done, honestly. And yeah, holy shit. What if I decided to sit at another seat, you know? And to be fair, when I went to when I went to USC to watch Lan Yu, I specifically sat at a spot where only loners can sit beside me. You know, there's only one seat left to my right and one seat to my left. But still, I'm so lucky. And wow, and if it weren't for that, I wouldn't enter HKOS. And now, and there's the HKOS meeting. There's Far Far Away at Whittier. And then now I know the HKOS founder, and maybe we'll do something about that, you know. And then I could write it in my resume. And then maybe I'll do something with a driver's license this month after all. I don't know if I've said this already, but at church, the pastor was asking me when will I get a driver's license because it's really a nuisance having people drive me around. So I may actually do that. And given that Pepper's also going to do that, I might as well. The driver's test is supposed to be really easy. Today I found it really difficult. But I and Pepper should be able to find it really easy. Tyrus is also doing a driver's test. Multiple choice questions. He posted about it on his Instagram. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Driver's test. There's a Sony camera, which is gonna cost very much, but it'll be very helpful, especially if I want to make short films in the future. And all I got is a Sony camera. You know, it's going to help out a lot, really. And yeah, just I don't know. I'm really tired right now, but I low-key want to do exercise tonight because if not, then I'll do tomorrow morning, I guess. Either way, I want to do some push-ups and sit-ups. I still want to do something to my face. It's just like, come on, what the fuck's going on? I hope this is the last of it. I hope this is the last wave. This cannot go on. I renewed my TripleLink apartment lease till August next year, so I'll be living here for another 11 months. So that's that, which is nice. I don't know. Thinking about money, thinking about looking for a new well, but again, that can wait. But I already feel the financial pressure, especially given that I want to buy a Sony camera, which is going to be really expensive. Thinking about film school, thinking about all the food that I'm going to eat. I think about if I have 3 days at Tokyo, I will definitely go to Akihabara. And I'm sure my cousins will want to go there too, or maybe not. But I will definitely go there, and of course I can't buy mangas there because like I can't read Japanese really. But I'll buy figurines, and they're probably really friggin' expensive. And the thing is, my family will not be there too. I don't know. the details are not discussed. But also, I don't know, it's just amazing how nice people are to me, really. I also asked Aoba today if she's in the ISF. No, I didn't ask her straight up. Did I ask? I asked in a way that I'm sure about it, you know. Oh, your last semester you're in the ISF, right? And she's like, yeah, they're really nice people, which is International Student Forum. But yeah, oh, so many connections. You know, so many friggin' connections. It's just, this is it. This is what I'm talking about. This is the EAS. It's not really EAS, more so it's just S, society. There's so many connections, man. Like Antoine, the Lebanese guy, right? Aoba, Liana, the Russian girl, right? And then that's connected with the Turkish guy. And then we ended up in the same class. And it's all somehow connected. At least in my film side, just in my film group, I just know a lot of people already, and I know the main people too. Okay, Betsy is like the queen of film in this college, and Antoine is the king, or at least a king. King is a really epic word. Just some important personnel in my college, and it's just awesome, really. Yeah. And then maybe I'll see Pepper tomorrow. I hope I see Pepper tomorrow, because if I go to the ice cream meetup tomorrow and there's nobody, then it's gonna be embarrassing. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Have I got everything off my chest? I think so. Yeah. And then there are internships. So like I said, like 5 levels, the new 5, upper class, aka socialize even harder, internship, uni app, driver's license, and then fitness. It's a lot more complicated than that now, Not a lot more, but a little bit more. Oh. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, with my life starting to feel like life, I will have less time to film vlogs, or less time to make YouTube videos anyways. I enjoy talking. I don't know. Oh man, I don't know. Oh god. Alright, time now is 11:07 a.m. in the morning on September 30th. Alright. I was gonna watch Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, but halfway through I was so fucking sleepy. So I just stopped. I gave up once again. And I went to sleep at 2:50. Yeah. So I slept from 2:50 to 11, and it's a good sleep. It's a good sleep. Okay. I look like shit. Okay, I'm gonna really, for real this time, try to keep it under 15 minutes. Even though interesting shit will happen today, I guess. Maybe. So I'm just gonna talk about what I'm gonna do today. Right now I'm in my pajamas because I'm gonna go back to bed and do some push-ups and sit-ups. Afterwards, I'm gonna finish watching Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. I will do a movie review on that movie, and then a mini movie review. And then, at around maybe 4:30, I'm gonna leave my apartment, and I'm gonna go to CMD, the side campus of my college, to meet up with Thomas. Why? Because today is actually the amazing, fantastic, exciting ice cream meetup, the ice cream in-person meetup for my script writing club. Except now that the club is doing so poorly, there's a chance that nobody will show up for the meetup. I asked Pepper if she's free. Pepper doesn't exactly know, but yeah, Pepper said she gets off the well at 5:30, and if nobody showed up, or if someone showed up, I will tell Pepper, and then Pepper will decide for herself whether she wants to come or not. And I totally respect that. I mean, it would be nice if I see Pepper today, but if it's super awkward, I'll protect her from this awkwardness, I guess. Uh, and that's pretty much it. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Nothing else. Nothing else. My hair is a fucking mess. There are a few things, like yesterday I thought I saw Pepper when I was at the main campus. She was wearing a black shirt. Later I texted her and she said yes, she's wearing a black shirt, but that's probably not her because I saw her at around 12:15. But it's not her, I guess. I don't know. But she did have a class yesterday though. Another thing is I have no idea what to eat for lunch. My meal plans, I didn't plan this far ahead. I have a red velvet cake that I'm gonna eat later, and it's gonna be really stuffy. So there's that. Red velvet cake with Twin Peaks, that's a combination and a half. But yeah, otherwise I have no idea what to eat for lunch, honestly. That's okay. I got some sweet potatoes. I'm gonna see what I can do with it. And then that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go to Nijio Market after the ice cream meetup today. If nobody shows up, I won't even get ice cream because I already have a lot of ice cream. If nobody shows up, whatever. I'm not gonna get ice cream. I am preparing for the worst case. If nobody shows up, I and Thomas, we can just sit down and chat and then just go home. That's it. Which is fine as well, you know. I don't really care anyways. That's it. That's it for today, really. Nijio Market. I have nothing to say. Push-ups time.